Another way to remotely connect to our Raspberry Pi is via SFTP, or Secure File Transfer Protocol. And FTP, as its name implies, it's just a protocol that allows you to transfer files between one computer and another computer. In this case, your PC or your laptop, where your FTP client is installed, to the Raspberry Pi. So in order to do that, we need to install an FTP client. And Filezilla is a very, very popular free FTP client that we're going to download to get the job done. If you Google Filezilla, you would get to the Filezilla homepage, and I'll put this link in the resources for the lecture. But you can get to the Filezilla homepage and you can click on download the Filezilla client. So again, there is a version of the client for all different platforms, Windows, Linux, Mac. So just go ahead, click and download the Filezilla client, and once that's installed, we will be able to connect to our Raspberry Pi. Okay, so once Filezilla has been installed, we're going to go ahead and open it up. And what we need to do first of all is click on File, and we're going to go to Site Manager here. From here, we're going to establish a connection to a new site, and let's name this Raspberry Pi. Okay, and for the host, we can enter the IP address of our Raspberry Pi. So you can enter your value here accordingly. And for the protocol, we're going to do SFTP for the protocol. The account, you can just set that to normal. For the user, type in Pi. And of course, the password is the password that you would have set. For the account, you can just leave that blank. Go ahead and click on connect. At first, you would get the prompt. Click on always trust this host and add it to the cache, and click on OK. And as you can see here, we have now connected to our home Pi folder on our Raspberry Pi. So that's pretty cool. So you can drill into here, and here you're seeing this is the home Pi documents folder. Again, you can go to the downloads folder. As you can see, there's no files on there. But the cool thing about FTP is you can transfer files from one system to the next. So here I'm on my Mac, and here is just an icon file. So if I double click on this file, I'm actually going to copy it. I just remotely copied it to the downloads folder on my Raspberry Pi. And to prove that it's there, let's go ahead and bring up our VNC viewer so we can see specifically what's going on our Raspberry Pi. I'm going to go into the file viewer here, and I'm going to go into downloads, and there's a file that we copied from our FTP client. So if I double click on it here, it should open up. Alright, so that was a file that we copied across. And similarly, we can transfer files from the Raspberry Pi back onto our PC or our laptop via Filezilla. So really, really cool and powerful feature using an FTP client to remotely connect to our Raspberry Pi.